another lovely message from my 5D community. So if you want to figure out if you're inclined to be here in our lovely, ethical, infinite higher human consciousness potential community, I'm going to give you a couple of tidbits so that you can figure it out, because all the words in the world don't really embody the expression of what it means to know love is easy. And anytime it begins to be a little bit not, let's get into it. So I was a teenager and it was clear emotional insecurity and maturity. And the word coward, we've used words. Of course, we always use words, but there's no evil or devil, even if you don't know. Because as I was growing up, I didn't have the great trauma-informed educational individuals, and I didn't have social media. 1980 kid, 1996, nope. My first phone, I think, my first cell phone, I remember buying it, okay? So emotional insecurity and maturity, for those of us who easily love, it's like, wow, why would you do this little tug-of-war dance? What are you doing? So I didn't have that because I'm a very consistent and targeted person, meaning I know where I'm going. Safe haven, secure base, too. So you unconsciously love, you have flaws, I have flaws. It means you don't feel guilty or you don't feel shame. And you also don't feel like, oh my gosh, you just hurt my feelings to the extent of I am obliterated. So none of that. As a teenager, I still remember clearly saying, it's true. The words that you use could very much be very, I think that's not nice. And we have this thing called free will. Let me think. Yes, I think love is the way. Why would I deny myself the experience to cherish love? Because people who are teenagers are emotionally insecure and mature. They're not able to easily hold their values, which means treat others the way you want to be treated. They don't know how to say the truth because they lie, the gaslighting, manipulation. It's like this is a coward's game. It's not evil. It's somebody who doesn't know how to speak a truth. And when you look at trauma-informed, again, adaptive children, they're not actually emotionally mature. They're cut off from their basic emotions. They acknowledge it, and they have all these adaptive children movies, Mean Girls, everything. I mean, there's movies that make it look cool to have addictions with drugs, sex, food, and alcohol. And there are people who tease this and say, no, you can't have sex addiction. Yes, you can. It's called being compulsively an addict of something because it makes you de-stress. And the movies make a lot of other things look cool. And people are out there yelling at each other versus understanding. Yelling doesn't create safe haven, secure base for people who don't know they have unresolved trauma. So here, a dialogue. As a teenager, I didn't feel unworthy for unconsciously loving. And no matter how many times I get told I have pink tinted glasses, I'm like, yes, here, stupid lady, okay? Can we go now? Can I be out of your misery? Because misery doesn't want company. It's just upsetting. Unresolved trauma. So here's the part of why a Purusha Prakriti person, a 5D mystic, will only know love. And love never gets hard because that's your ventral vagal state engaged. And you don't have to put it into practice. Yoga, I only did it recently because I had promised to Sadhguru from my Shambhavi Kriya. That's it. And yes, I felt the benefit of anchoring in my light body. But really, it was a little benefit. Other than that, it's exercises. And yes, I do them. I enjoy them. But I don't need them to be in an unconsciously loving state. This is a choice. Free will, even if it's not free will, your body, your embodied brain has a way that people who know about the mind and the body can explain to you why you would have heaven in the body or not. And the trauma memory, it's stored in the tissues, the bones, what else with tissues, bone muscles, Peter Levine, Bezel van der Kolk. People look up the good people that are telling you about why trauma memory is something, not pretend and heartbreak, gut wrench. And the thing is, people who want to believe in the devil and evil, it's unfortunate because they believe in something. That's fine, believe in what you will, but you're refuting scientific methodology built up attachment researchers, people who do studying year after year. They've dedicated their life because you don't want to believe that biology, because it doesn't make sense. You're not trying to understand it. You're not being curious. You're not being an intelligent one who wanders. Thank you, Sadhguru. You're being the idiot who's dead sure. So here's what a dead sure Purusha Prakriti person knows is you and I are both love. You making it into some type of inconsistent, it's not a struggle. You simply are afraid. It's a coward's game. So coward, though, is insulting. And we don't want to insult somebody who's already hurt and they're hurting, and then they don't know about doing work. because the good trauma-informed stuff has only recently been presented, and there's a bunch of people who are yelling at each other versus understanding what emotional maturity is and insecurity. This is why our 5D mystics, you don't have to be mystic. It's a functional adult. It's a compassionate human being, inner growth, personal development. It's a common sense. You're using the two sides of your brain to know, of course, I have charges as I'm a human, I have emotions. It's straightforward. If the emotions are hurtful, meaning they actually create a lot of, so this is the part your body begins to feel when something's like this little tug of war, and that's a already yellow red zone. We're in an uncomfortable situation. So love people, love boop buttons, which is where my end of the spectrum comes in. When we meet shame people, and it's not that they're supposed to be, no, they have a shame defectiveness, heartbreak, gut wrench. They don't know they're afraid of love. They don't know they're afraid of their ventral vagal. They're not afraid of it. Their body never got to be in it. Their actual human being attachment system longed for it the first 7 months of their life, the first year of their life. But excuse me, let's not believe in the pseudoscience lady, shall we? In fact, don't, please. Go do your own research and, I don't know, figure it out. Here's the point. It's like I get pissy. This is my Kali mode, because as a teenager, I would say, if you know somebody's actually lying, you can tell them. I would tell people to their face, I know the truth. And you know how many people to this day, 43. Yeah, it is a coward's world, because people don't know that evil isn't evil in the sense of the devil. I contemplated if the devil ever existed, and I was like, yep, he doesn't exist, because then we would not have human suffering. Because you know what all the politicians, what did they do in the Roman times? I remember they distracted. This is the way that they interpret to you the past. Of course, this is the hypothetical. Let's distract the people. So there's all these different ways. Insecure, emotionally speaking, human beings, because they're insecure about our own species. I'm a human. I'm proud to be a human. I have all these beautiful emotions. I have a brain that thinks. I love the scientific methodology, and I'm not the empirical lady, and I don't want to be. I love being a mystic because I love the arts, and I love the clairs, and I love to be able to bring a community of people who has the same type of tapping into with the heart of love. Love is easy. It's not hard. And if somebody's making it quote unquote hard, they're not making it hard. They're afraid. And if they don't want to see it, well, guess who gets to skip out on living one of the best emotions ever? And you know how many people, even if they are in solace, I mean, granted, those relationship soul age groups, there is no way in HELL that a person who understands their own prakriti would give up the opportunity to vibe consistently in enlightenment, which is where 5D mystics in the Enlightenment Soul Age group are right now, not yesterday and not tomorrow, no, now. So it doesn't get harder to love as we move into our grown-up land. I was a teenager. I just saw a lot of immaturity. When I kept seeing it as I grew up, I was like, I'm not missing out on anything. Wow, you all have the same insecurities. And I'm thinking, my gosh, what's wrong? Thank you, attachment researchers. Thank you, trauma-informed people, because now I know there's an adaptive child world. Guess what? The ones of us who are not afraid to feel, what do? We don't have this, let me hide my vulnerability. I'm afraid that you're going to break. No, I'll tell you what I'm afraid of. I'll tell you what I'm mad of. And here's where, as Patrick Teahan points out, the codependent people, they want to take care of each other or change each other. And they all have low self-esteem, and they also have low emotional situation going on. So they don't have a relationship. This is why, again, emotional insecurity. They have a lot of movies that make it look cool to do what they're doing or normal. And there's the stereotypes and the overgeneralizations. 5D people know that love is always easy. So if somebody is afraid of love, they want to live life with that fear. That's a-okay. They want to live half a life, half what it's their life. This is the part. You're a life. I'm a life. Once you gain a relationship with the embodiment of your restorative embodied self, you can only get that if you're working with your left and right. That means all sensations, all emotions that arise. The people who have tsunami, they know of therapy because they will have gone. Because it will become that torturous to feel that they have no other option, because it gets debilitating. So the middle ground, which is where 4D, 3D talk about third party, karmics, evil, devil. No, this is not. It's an average bear's game, which is they're choosing to think they love, but they don't understand that love is in a ventral vagal state, and it's actually treating each other with what is direct communication, respect, compassion. There's a lot of ways that functional adults know how to handle those who want to weaponize quote unquote words When they're hiding behind their fear, we feel bad for them, not the other way around. And they don't make love a struggle. It's their struggle. They have fear. We have love, and it shows. That's all.